So I found a way that you could make money with just your voice. So as long as you could talk and say words, then this method should work. And it shouldn't be too hard. You know what? Let's give it a try. Could you say subscribe? Good, well, that's it. You could do this. So now that we got that out of the way, we're going to be talking about how to make money with voices.com. How much money people are making with voiceovers, how exactly this method works, how you could get started for yourself, and I'll also be showing you a bonus step later in the video. So let's get started. So first off, what is a voiceover actor? According to masterclass.com, a voiceover actor is a performer who uses their voice to entertain, narrate, or market products for commercials and a bunch of other stuff. And to be a little more specific, on ziprecruiter.com, a voice actor's main duties are to read and record scripts for TV, film, radio, commercials, etc. Now, you obviously would have heard voiceovers when you're looking at a television commercial or listening to the radio where somebody's advertising a specific product or a television show. And in case you never wondered, people get paid a lot of money for doing those types of things. And that's also the same case for commentary and audiobooks. Now, before we really dive in, obviously you want to know how much does a voice actor make. Now, according to voices.com, this will vary a lot based on person to person and the type of job that is involved. A voiceover for the radio may pay very differently from a voiceover for a television commercial. It is also important to keep in mind that voice actors are typically paid on a per job basis. But how much could you make per job? Now, the price range could vary a lot, but an example is given here. If you're providing voiceover commercials, you can expect to earn from anywhere between $100 for a local radio commercial to $10,000 for a national television commercial. One of the type of jobs that is on the rise now is audiobook narration. A voiceover actor is hired to narrate that entire book, and it states here that the standard rate commonly range between $200 to $300 per hour of recording. So let's say that book goes for about 4 to 6 hours long. That usually works out, here they say, to about $1,500. So $1,500 for just reading a book. So that works out good if you like reading. So basically how this method works is that you create a profile. You create a profile and you upload samples of your voiceovers. And this is the opportunity here to upload samples of your best work. And I would suggest here that, especially since you may be now starting off, you should not have a bunch of different types of jobs. It should be one type of job and many samples of it. Because especially if you're a newbie, somebody will want to hire you if they're looking for something specific. And they see that you have a lot of experience with that, or you have at least a lot of samples of that. So be sure to showcase your best work. Once you have your profile set up, you would then get private invitations from clients. So say somebody stumbles upon your profile, they like what they see, they like what they hear. Alright, so how this works. What you do first is you create a profile and you upload samples, uploading some of your best work if you have the experience though. But if you don't have the experience, you don't want to just upload all of the different samples that you could quickly put together. You create your samples, but you only choose the best ones and upload those on your profile. And of course, as you get jobs done, you then update your profile. But once you create your profile, what will happen next is that you will get to reply to jobs. And how it would work is that somebody would invite you for a job and you would have your chance to give a custom response. Of course, until you have that job agreement in place. And once you both agree on the terms, then you'd move on to the next step, which is where you actually get hired to do the work. Here you'd get the chance to discuss the requirements a little bit into more detail directly with the client through private messaging. The next step is the best part. This is where you get paid for your hard work. And it states here that while you work, your pay is actually held safely by Voices and released automatically to you via PayPal once the work is done. So in case you're wondering, let's just back up to this step here where you reply to jobs. First of all, people will have to find you. So here's how that happens. So a client would come on the top here of the screen here and they can search for the specific talent that they're looking for, or they can just come down here and hit voiceover. On this page, they can browse the different voiceover skills that they're looking for. As you can see, there are many different options to choose from. Radio, voice assistant, animation, audiobooks, business, podcasting, television, and there are many stuff to choose from. So let's say that you were a radio personality and you were looking for some extra work. A client who possibly needed a voice for a radio commercial would come in here, click radio, and they'd be able to listen to the different samples from all of these different voiceover actors. And there's many to choose from because, as you can see right here below, showing 1 to 12 out of 7,771. I don't think that they would just check this first page alone. Sure, they're showcasing this first page because of the amount of reviews that these people have, but this also means that they may be the most expensive. The client may not necessarily want to pay the most amount of money for their job, so you may not be competing with this first page when just getting started. So the client would simply hit view profile and check out some other samples that you have, and if you do seem like a right fit and they would like to discuss it further with you, then they would hit invite to job. Okay, so you must be wondering now if this is free or if you have to spend any money to be able to get paid to voice act. And the truth is, there are several different options to choose from. And I would only recommend getting started with the free option. Only when you really start getting paid, then I would recommend upgrading. Because as you can see right here, the paid options is almost $500 for a year and can go all the way up to $3,000. But I would only recommend using this option to get started for free. With the free option, you could create your profile, you can get started, you can get invited to jobs and start generating income. The benefit with the premium one in this case is that you would be automatically matched to your profile and your skill set. With the free option, somebody would have to stumble upon your profile or type your name or search for you specifically. So there's obviously a disadvantage with the free option. And I mentioned briefly how you can get traffic to your profile without the premium option, and I'll mention that in a minute. But with the premium option, let's say you were already a voiceover actor, it may make sense to go straight for this option and invest in this because you could easily make back this cost if you are experienced already. As you can see here, you can automatically receive job invitations as they would match your profile to jobs best suited to your skills. You'd also be able to achieve higher visibility in search results so clients could see your profile first and track your progress and earnings and stuff like that. But as a beginner, get started for free. Sign up for free, create your profile, choose your best voiceover samples, and start getting paid first. And if this seems like something you want to invest in because you're getting jobs, you're getting hired often, then invest in this option so that you can make more money. So how about we move on to that bonus rounds? Wondering, as a beginner, how do you get that traffic to your profile, especially since voices wouldn't be necessarily matching you with jobs and people would have to stumble upon your profile? Well, what we're going to do is get in front of those people in a different channel, on a different channel. And how you can possibly do that is by using Facebook groups. You just head over to Facebook and search for voiceovers and then hit groups. As you can see here, there are many different groups that you could join, and all of these are different voiceover communities with thousands of members. So I would suggest start joining these groups, and don't just post your profile, of course. Become active in them, asking questions, giving your own feedback, responding to questions, throwing in there that you are a new voiceover actor, and as long as the group owner allows it, you could drop your link in there. And this would be a way to get some possible free traffic towards your profile so that you can start getting paid. This way, a potential client would also be in some of these groups. And if they see your profile and your voice sounds like what they need for their project, then you can possibly get hired and start getting paid. But let's say you want to get started with the paid option. I have an option here in this video for you where you can do some voiceover transcriptions where you don't have to actually transcribe the audio for yourself. There's a free tool that automatically transcribes it for you. So you can get paid, and the earnings from that you can use to register for a premium profile on voices.com so that you can start automatically getting hired. So check that video out.